Originally just wanted to make an entire video about Shane Dawson here for you guys, but this whole thing and what is going on right now is much bigger than Shane Dawson. Now, for those of you who haven't heard, the much deserved move has been made, and YouTube has stripped monetization from all three of Shane Dawson's YouTube channels because they saw his past content, they saw how bad it looked and how unfunny it was, and sorry, I'm just savoring in the moment a little bit here. Because people like me were on the forefront to tell people, and YouTube specifically, that Shane Dawson was a piece of trash, that his content was trash, that it was highly insensitive. Ugh. And people didn't listen to people like me, and now they're coming back to me now. Shane Dawson fans are coming back to my channel saying, "Oh, I wish I listened to you years ago. You were right. All your videos critiquing him were right. I wish YouTube would have listened to you and got this guy off this website years ago, and you wouldn't have had the abusive content that he made for people." Thank you for those of you that have come back here and owned up and gave me the pat on the back. But this is so far beyond me. And that's why I'm not making this an entirely Shane Dawson content video here. And again, I am somewhat reveling in the fact that he got stripped of all means of monetary gains on this website, and that Target is pulling his book off of all of their shelves and stuff like that. That's all well and deserved. But at the same time, this is a very volatile time here on YouTube. And yes, I've always told you guys, putting your eggs in the basket of something as volatile as internet income is a very tricky business venture and a very risky one. And I've said that for years. But at the same time, I do realize that a lot of people make their well, some harder and some are more hard-earned than others. Based on the effort you give here on this website, people are giving up a lot of their time and effort to make content here for you and getting paid rather handsomely to do so. And I fear that, well, not that I fear, but I'll just say I predict the ability to do that for a lot of people is going to be hampered severely in the future. And the fear that I have in all this is someone is either going to take their own life or get their life taken from them based on either the amount of hate they are receiving or the hate that they are getting on this website. And though this has happened before, where people have been bullied on the internet, taken their own life, things of that nature, harm themselves, it's a different day and time right now, specifically in that if someone with a bit more than an average amount of popularity on this website was to either kill themselves, the media would run with it in such a frenzy right now if there was content of that person being criticized and YouTube willingly let that content remain up there, people being just called just derogatory names. It doesn't even have to be like N-bombs or F-bombs and stuff like that. It could just be just cursing at someone repeatedly. And that, in a collection of numerous people doing that, would be spewed out by the media. Some would say rightfully so. I think partially rightfully so. And a fuss would be made about it behind the scenes at YouTube, because YouTube demonetizing Shane Dawson for past videos speaks a lot more volumes than just the specific incident of Shane Dawson himself, because they're basically spelling out with that someone as hyper popular as Shane Dawson is, with millions of subscribers, a guy that's still making millions of dollars a year off of YouTube, someone as hyper popular as that, YouTube is just basically knee-jerking their rules into action and saying, we don't have to pay you because we say so. We're a private business. We could choose to rip your money away at a blink of an eye, and they did just that. And they can do the same if they're put into a knee-jerk situation. And people in any sort of commentary community should be worried about making money on this website, because once something bad happens and YouTube goes into knee-jerk mode, you got to wonder if they're going to do everything in the realm of criticizing, as redundant as that is, because who's to say you could, be able to criticize a person for their looks, their way of life, or even like directing a movie. Like, will we be able to critique George Lucas and how shitty the Star Wars prequels were? Could we call him bad names from that? Would that be acceptable? It's one thing to criticize someone's physical appearance and YouTube deem that improper. Could you correct someone and be critical of their directing ability? Like, you got to wonder if all that is going to be whipped into one big realm of just, I'm sorry, you can't criticize people negatively in any way, shape, or form anymore, people. Is that the stance YouTube is going to go down? The road that they're going to go down? People need to seriously consider that. And whether or not what you're doing here on this website for a living is is a smart choice at this point. Um, but again, like I said, I've told people years ago that banking on internet stability for an income is just insane. Just insane. But people are cashing in, and people might want to cash in as long as they possibly can. But just something like YouTube, and again, what they did to Shane Dawson, it speaks volumes about what they can do in a totality of things, in just a broad spectrum of things. Because right now, that whole beauty guru type genre of videos right now, holy shit, is there some knife swinging in those videos now? Oh my god. Talk about a community of toxicity. Yikes. Anyway, not that I frequent a lot of their videos, but I'm up to speed with all the drama there, and Jesus. Anyway, it's just a bizarre time, and I'm kind of grateful that my job got shut down from COVID temporarily, because it was rather interesting to watch things unfold here, and just someone who put, oh my god, was it 12 years of video making on this website, and well, I'm only back now because I can't work right now because of COVID. But anyway, it was such an interesting time just this past couple months, and just how much this website could change forever. Like another month or two down the road, this might be a just completely different website, and we'll see how many people want to make content and not have the ability to be paid, because that may be a very, 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 very big possibility here in the future, that monetization is stripped. And a lot of people are going to say, well, YouTube needs to make money off of people, especially the commentary community that gets millions of views. YouTube and Adpocalypse, they dropped sponsorship and ads from so many videos. They took such a bigger hit than if they would just remove ads from the entire commentary community. When YouTube, if their website longevity is at risk, and it's becoming this whole thing that the media image of YouTube is just being just portrayed as this big toxic hornet's nest, and you don't want to be someone that criticizes on this website, or you could be, partially responsible for someone's death. Like, if that's what it ends up being looked upon as, YouTube is going to change things. Like, let's not kid ourselves for 1 second. YouTube will go into knee-jerk mode, and they will strip ads off of everyone in the commentary community. Don't believe me in the past, then don't believe me now. Just sit back and watch it happen, because if I could stand on my soapbox, man, I may not be right a lot of the time, but man, there's been a ton of things that I've said about this website that have been spot on. I am just a voyeur of life, and I have voyeured the ever-loving shit out of this website. I've spent an unhealthy amount of time here, the 12 years that I've been on this website. Doesn't make me a professional of knowing anything. Sorry, I just spit a spit bubble out there. Hopefully that didn't show up on camera. Probably did. Now that I addressed it, people are going to rewind the video and see it. Anyway, um, I'd like to think I know a thing or two about how this website conducts itself. Anyway, that aside, well, let's just sit back and watch Rome burn, I guess, because it's a burning. Especially in the little beauty guru part of town. That shit is in flames like I've never seen before. Anyway. Do I say anyway enough for you guys? It's my verbal crutch. Everyone has their weakness in life. Saying anyway is mine. So, see, I went to a different verbal crutch there. So, what do you guys think is going to happen here in the future of YouTube? And do you think the whole Shane Dawson thing is telling? Because ripping away monetization from Shane, and yeah, he's probably going to get his monetization back. And people are saying, well, it's only temporary. It's they didn't say permanently. It said it's just indefinite. But I don't know, man. He shook a hornet's nest, and he got stung multiple times when those videos re-earthed. Re-earthed? Do people say re-earthed? Jesus, Archfiend. You're gonna correct other people's grammar. Check yourself. Anyway, when those videos re-emerged, it really showed how YouTube just sat by when people like me 10 years ago were telling YouTube how toxic his content was, showing how much of a blind eye they took to it. And I don't know if it would necessarily be spun in a good way at all if they gave him his monetization back. Because that's just saying, like, well, we're going to temporarily take your money away, but now we're willing to give you millions of dollars more by giving you your ability to earn money back. Because we know you're not going to make videos masturbating to a picture of a 11-year-old member of the Smith family. Anyway, did it again. Interesting time on YouTube. Interesting time. And my time is going to be limited because I'm going to be going back to work soon. And you guys are going to be missing me again. Well, some of you. That is all.